It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Hey, boys. Hey, Lowco Sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Lowco Sports Lowdown, Monday night edition. We are definitely deep into the DBB World Series, the boys and the junior boys over at Burton Wells Park. And in fact, we just came from there. Max just hightailed it back from the games tonight. And the Mississippi teams are the two undefeated teams going into what could be the final day. It could stretch into Wednesday, depending on how things shake out tomorrow. But we'll have 3 games tomorrow. And if we need another one to decide a champ, that'll go on Wednesday. But it's been really good baseball out there. We'll talk about that in some detail tonight. Beaufort County team on the junior boys, the 13U team, held its own very strongly and ended up going 2-2 and was in a Donnybrook today. Had a chance in that one all day long, just couldn't scratch one across, and then had one rough inning defensively. Coach Alex Hunt going to try to join us momentarily if he can manage from his phone. He's just getting done working at the ballpark tonight after coaching all day. He was back had his Beaufort County staff hat on tonight, so we'll see if we can talk with him. I was really impressed with what he did with that squad, and we'll talk about that some more later. We've also got Zao Estrada coming to join us tonight. We've been working on it for a while now. Zao's been grinding, but she's recovered and ready to come on and talk to us about her journey to a national championship last week in Fargo. Just an incredible story. Their family has had quite a track record in female wrestling, kind of trailblazing, and there's still another one coming. So we'll talk with Zao and whatever else we want to talk about. You know, Olympics are going on. Baseball trade deadline is heating up. We got all kinds of stuff going on. But how are you boys doing? I made it back from vacation. Busch Gardens was cool. Lots of good roller coasters, those things that go up and down and all around. Pantheon, probably my favorite, but there were several that were quite good. So yeah, Busch Gardens is 2 thumbs up. How are you boys doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Busy weekend at the ballpark. I was there Friday through Sunday at Burton Wells Park, and I was on the call with Max Arraj. So a nice my Lowco partner got to call a bunch of games over the weekend. Had a blast. Had a ton of fun working over there.
Yeah, man, good stuff. Maxie, how you doing, buddy? You've been staying busy.
I know. I've been tired. I am exhausted at this point. For those of you who don't know, we were supposed to have games on Friday, which was opening day for the tournament, and pretty much we started the games. They got delayed, and then we just never picked them up. And we picked them up Saturday, and Saturday may have been one of the longest days of my life. And the reason I say that is our last game with me and actually head coach for Beaufort County Junior Boys team, Alex Hunt. We were on the call for the final game of the night over on Field 1 at Burton Wells Park. And we got done at 1:30 in the morning, and I didn't get home till about 2:15, 2:30-ish on Saturday, and then went back out Sunday morning for 8 a.m. starts. So I got about 3.5 hours of sleep in going into Sunday and just kept the grind going. But I got some sleep last night. And but, you know, besides all that, it has been absolutely fantastic over in Beaufort, South Carolina this past few days. And, of course, me and Wes on the call. But also other people on the call for other games as well, including Marcus Walsh and Kevin Libby for WHHI. And then, of course, Chloe G and Matt Golden for BCTV. They've done incredible this week. And it's been a lot of fun in the press box with all the guys that have been up there. And we have had a blast. And
Bracken Lambert. Also
I got the
games.
Lambert as well. My goodness. I'm so sorry, Bracken. I totally forgot.
I got to work with
Lambert
Matt and Chloe throughout the weekend, and both did a tremendous job. Bracken was there as well, and then Kevin Libby and Marcus Walsh, they were having too much fun over there.
What a crew!
I was flipping on the way back from Virginia. I was flipping back and forth whenever the inning would end. I'd flip to the other one, but I was listening to Max and Matt Golden calling the Beaufort County 13U game, and then flipping over to Marcus and the Libs calling the 14U game. And man, those guys cracked me up. Marcus, by the way, probably going to join us on Friday night, I believe, is the plan. Talk a little high school football and talk about the tournament this weekend. And it looks like Alex Hunt is preparing to join us. He's hooked on this thing, man. He's ready to get on the show. We're going to make him a full-time contributor this season, but let's see if he's ready to get in here. Coach Alex Hunt, what's up, buddy?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you. You decided to stay in the office a little longer because you're hooked on this media thing, huh? You just can't help yourself.
You know, doing 12-hour days and longer. What's a few more minutes, right?
I mean, you probably got a cot up there, don't you? I mean, they got to at least get you a cot over there. That'd be nice of them. But, no, man, you definitely been pulling double duty. And like I said earlier, you were coaching earlier today, and then you were right back up there working tonight. And Max said you were calling a game with him until the wee hours the other night. So been a yeoman's effort. As I told you personally today, I really enjoyed watching you coach this team and getting to be kind of hanging out next to the dugout, taking photos and listen to you talk to the guys. And as we also discussed privately, we scrimmaged each other when you first got that team together, and to see the strides you made in such a short time, bringing them together as a team, because as we all know, a collection of baseball players does not make a team. But you really did. You did a good job of fostering that team atmosphere, bringing them together in a short time. And you guys had a great showing, man. No shame in going 2-2 in the World Series, especially when you felt like today you had your chances to get another win and the ball just didn't bounce your way. But, I guess kind of encapsulate your experience so far from the coaching standpoint, and then also from top level of, from my perspective, Beaufort is knocking it out of the park as far as hosting this event goes.
Yeah. Just first off, I couldn't be more grateful for everything that has happened, the opportunity that I was given to coach this team, the buy-in from the parents, the players, my assistant coaches, just everyone that was involved in it made it so easy for me to do what I did. And I mean, yeah, I can sit here and talk about it, but all I can do is make a lineup, right? Those guys in the lineup still have to hit. They still have to throw strikes. They still have to catch. They still have to do all those things. All I can try and do is say the right words at the right time. That's what my job as a coach is. I'm not fielding ground balls and throwing them to first.
Yeah.
I'm not putting the bat in my hand and swinging it and driving in RBIs. That's all them, know.
Yep.
But I had parents and, like I said, assistant coaches that I could bounce ideas off of. Parents that let me utilize players. Like I wanted to, Noah Sepulveda, Colt Sparger, Colt going 93 pitches, Noah Sepulveda going 100 pitches in a game.
Wow.
Like it's a lot to ask for a kid. And then me coming back and asking Noah to catch the next day, it's a lot. And he still, we struck a guy out and he threw a guy out at third on the same play. Struck him out. Like it was great. So it was really lucky, and it's just my name attached to the team. That's all it is, really. I'm grateful for being able to scrimmage all before season started. I mean, you were there for that. We obviously came a very, very long way from that. Just being able to put it all together.
No question, man.
I'm more proud of the boys than anything in this world, and that's probably the most talented team I've ever been a part of.
Awesome.
What a fantastic effort. And this was a team that we all will be proud of for years to come for what they accomplished here, picking up 2 wins, knocking off 2 state champions. I mean, all of these teams that entered this tournament, aside from the hosts who qualify, all these teams you go up against are state champions. They earned their way here, and you guys knocked 2 of them off. You beat Decatur County, Tennessee, and then the best performance yet is what we saw in that next game. I mean, just
Spring Hill.
Unbelievable job against Spring Hill, Florida. And you mentioned the 2 pitchers, Colt Sparger, as well as Noah Sepulveda. I mean, yeoman's work on the mound. That's what it takes to win ball games like this. And the defense as well behind those 2 pitchers was impeccable. And not just that, we saw the run production, getting those across at the key times and getting base runners, moving them over, just great situational awareness, playing the game. And it just, what a tremendous, tremendous performance in this tournament. And I know how proud you are of this team. And I mean, just an incredible job what this group has done and has made all of us proud. So I congratulate you on this and all the hats that you have to wear throughout the tournament. It's not just coaching the team, but you're up there at the press box helping us out after those games were over. So, I mean, what a crazy experience for you.
He's still there.
Yeah, you're still there. You're still. But just take me through, especially Saturday or Sunday, when you guys won those two against Tennessee, and then turned right back around to knock off Florida.
Yeah, we hit the ball when we needed to hit the ball, especially against that second team, Florida. That was a good team. That kid that they threw against us was really good. He actually, I think, started throwing harder in the later innings of that game. Through like 5 innings or something, he was at 50 pitches, which was crazy. And then in the 6th, we finally put some runs up and started finding some holes. We were hitting the ball hard all day, all game, honestly. Today too, even though it didn't fall our way. We had a couple of, in my opinion, couple of bad plays and then some bad luck is what happened. We caught a couple of bad breaks and it happens. We hit the ball well. We gave ourselves a chance in the last inning today too. Just didn't fall our way.
Yeah, I mean, you were one knock away from bringing the tying run to the plate,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is what it is. But no, yesterday, and hats off to Decatur County, Tennessee, and Spring Hill, Florida, because they both handled themselves very well through that tournament, I thought. They were both very respectful teams. They played well. They played hard. And things just kind of bounced our way. We hit the ball really well against Spring Hill, Florida in particular, I thought. Their shortstop made a lot of really good plays. Their third baseman made a few really good plays. And then we had one inning where we found some holes and we put up a few runs.
Yeah. So it takes sometimes.
The
kids, Oh, go ahead, Max.
Yeah, one of the people I think I didn't want anyone to forget who had an absolute amazing day today for you guys despite the loss. Marion Simmons on the mound for you guys today. He was absolutely outstanding, and I would love to get him onto the show. I feel like we should talk with him on this show because I think he did a fantastic job. You and your team just was absolutely amazing in this entire tournament, and it was really great seeing you guys represent the Lowcountry with pride and tremendous privilege for you and your team. And I, as a player who played within Beaufort County at the Dixie Boys level and the Dixie Junior Boys level myself, I couldn't be more prouder to see how Beaufort County represented the Lowcountry in this tournament.
And it gotta be cool for you as well, Justin, to have coached these guys before.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, Noah and Zach were on that Dixie World Series team when we went to Mississippi in 10U. Zach was on the first team I ever coached when we were 5. Very first team I ever coached. So, it's definitely cool. And then, hanging out and then of course, Russell Cooler and Stephen Mater. Russell Cooler's been with us on the wave since we were 8. Stephen Mater joined us this year, and I absolutely love that kid and the way he plays the game. He's raw, but man, you just can't ask for anybody to play the game harder than he does or care more than he does. I know a lot of those other kids growing up too. Hogan Wareham, know his family really well, and I can't remember them all. Zach Shipshack he goes way back with this. Sparger's been messing with us in all-stars since we were little. Every time we had to face him, he'd give us fits, So no, it's really fun to watch those guys. And then a few other guys that I didn't know yet or wasn't that familiar with, getting to see them play. Ashton Smith is a dude. There's some guys out there who can really play. Sam Knowles has a lot of raw ability. He hosed a kid today at third, and I saw you go coach him on how to take a deeper angle. He took a terrible angle.
But
rope it up the guy and then just hosed him at third.
Man.
And then he blew off his fingers.
Yeah.
And holstered it.
Oh, I saw it too. Yep.
I mean, it's great. I love watching kids play ball, and I love watching them get better. And a lot of them, I haven't seen them play in a few months, and now I get to see him, and I'm like, oh man, he's playing great. He looks great out there. So no, that's awesome. And I love again seeing the way you interacted with them. Coach Rob and I go way back, and we've coached together a number of times on various different teams. So no, I'm all in with everybody who's all in for the kids, and that's definitely you. But you got to see tonight was kind of the showcase game, I guess, so far, because the two undefeated teams. Hattiesburg, I was on the call on this one. Hattiesburg and Livingston, Texas, who you saw up close in the first round. What a pitcher's duel. That kid Beckett Johnson for Hattiesburg was lights out, 14 strikeouts, one shy of the DBB World Series record. Just an unbelievable outing.
What was his pitch total? Did you say at the?
It wasn't
80,
even that high.
I think he was in 80, somewhere between 80 and 85. I mean, he threw strikes, and you know
he was 69 going into the seventh. I know that
he was warming up a little bit, on the mound before the game started, and I saw him, and I was like, oh well, Texas has basically already seen this guy because I threw Colt at him that first game.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, they should be able to hit this guy. They've pretty much already seen it, and then he threw a pitch, and I love Colt. This kid, I think had a few more miles per hour behind it.
It had some nasty late movement on everything.
Had some tail on that ball. It's crazy.
That the arm side run on that two-seamer was disgusting, and then he had a little cutter too, though. And then he had what looked like a sweeper, like a big sweeping curveball that was devastating.
Curveball.
Devastating. God, he was good. And he pitched too. I mean, he was pitching to spots and he was hitting them. I thought the two kids for Texas pitched exceptionally well too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the field kid was lighting it up. I thought it was interesting to pull him at 45 because I mean he was rolling. He hadn't allowed a hit yet.
Yeah.
I would imagine minimum until he walked that leadoff guy.
His first 3 innings, he went 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I mean, he walked the 9-hitter, but then they threw him out trying to steal. So
how many strikeouts did that kid from Mississippi finish off with? Because he was 14. Just short of the Dixie record.
14, one shy.
Yeah. Yeah, one shy of the Dixie record.
Yeah.
He had 6 through 2 innings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he was fired up in that last inning when they gave him the lead, and he got a nice rope up the middle.
His pitching, that's not something you can teach. That's just I mean,
to a degree, but
to a degree. I mean,
he had that natural run on his ball like that, and that's just something that you have. Now you can mess with you can mess with his grip a little bit and tell him where to put pressure on a 4-seam or a 2-seam and maybe get a little bit more break on it. But I mean, just to have that natural run on your ball, it's just something that you have.
Oh, it was a lot too. I mean, he could induce chases. But the other kid had a devastating the Goins kid, the second kid for Texas. Yeah. He had a good little 12-6 almost breaker, and then a really good 2-seamer that he would throw on the white and it'd come in on the black. I mean, that was some really good pitching in that game. Now, whether either team has some depth behind that for the next 2 days is to be seen. But the fact that both those kids were throwing for the first time in the tournament tells me that they got a little bit of depth there.
I'm glad that none of those two teams are going home. I'm glad that they get.
Would love to see a rematch.
They 100% deserve to stay in this tournament after that game.
I mean,
I'm on record that we're getting 2 more. I think those 2 teams are going to play 2 more. Well, Alex doesn't. He wants Wednesday off.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Yeah, that would force another game on Wednesday. If we have a third game between those two sides, most likely. Although we could have the 3-way tie situation where
Toby Colella claims to have taught you everything you know about coaching.
Yeah, thanks, Toby.
I'm really excited for tomorrow. I mean, we should have some great games on tap. 3 scheduled as we look ahead. But I mean, every day has gotten better than the one before it, and this was one of the most competitive ones yet. And we also have the Dixie Boys bracket going on as well. And that Hattiesburg team is also still undefeated.
Oh, jeez.
They're the defending champs. They won the Junior Boys last year, and they sure look like the class this year.
I mean, that shows. It really
Big
does
players
show
on-
with that team. That team is just they're something else. I don't even know how to explain how good of a team that they are.
They
Because
played
they just played one of the better teams in that Dixie Boys tournament in JPRD East. That's for those of you who don't know, that's Jefferson Parish, so the New Orleans area in Louisiana. And those are two of the better teams in the Dixie Boys bracket, and Mississippi got out early and never looked back. And I think they ended up winning 5-1, I believe was final
Oh, it was
score.
9-1 when I
Or
left.
9-1. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, they kind of pulled away with that one, didn't they? I totally forgot.
Or
But I mean,
8-1 or something. They were blowing it up. Yeah.
I think the
both
final was
Hattiesburg teams are
Final
just
was what, Alex?
stacked.
I think the final was 11-1 or 12
11-1.
11-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're strong. They're very strong.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we got 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 6 o'clock games tomorrow out of Burton Wells. If you can't make it out, they'll all be streaming on the Beaufort County channel, BCTV on YouTube, and some of us may or may not be on the calls. So I'm planning to be on 2 of them tomorrow. I got under the bus at 10 a.m. with our old goats, and then I'll be over there for the 1 and the 6.
Man,
So
I'd
looking
love
forward
to
that.
get back out there. Unfortunately, I have my working duties during
Yeah.
the week.
Well,
but
don't worry,
yeah.
Wes, because I'll represent you. I'll be out there tomorrow. So.
All right, good deal. And Alex will be out there. He won't have to worry about coaching, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He'll just be working. But
You say I won't have to worry about working or coaching. Coaching is my break. That's what I get to do. That
I
just
know. I was being facetious. That was definitely the fun part for you. Now you just have to work.
I tell you what, Alex, me, you, Brandon, and Brock were having the time of our lives during that Hattiesburg game.
You were hyping him up when he got back to the press box after that win over Florida. You were like, "Let's go!" You were, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Hey, I will say it again. I've played Dixie Boys baseball and Dixie Junior Boys baseball when I was those kids' age, and had the opportunity of playing All Stars at one point, and I will always 100% support Beaufort County no matter what, because that is my home. It is my home, and I will never not support that team. Even I know I'm not supposed to be biased on broadcasts, and I will do my best not to be, but whenever Beaufort County is playing, I will always support them with everything I have, because that's just part of my background and part of my history.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you got to temper it a little on the broadcast.
Right. I mean,
it's the same for our good friend Bracken Lambert too. Bracken Lambert played Dixie Boys baseball around here as well. So we both will always support Beaufort County no matter what, because that's just part of who we are.
I also played Dixie youth baseball growing up, so it's part of the tradition around here. You do it when you're a kid, and you become entrenched with how important baseball is in Lowcountry, and you always gotta root for the next generation. And it's always fun.
We should let you go. Oh, go ahead, Wes.
But yeah, just so much fun to be on the call, especially for those Beaufort County games. They're all fantastic. But man, just watching that team play, how inspired they played throughout. I only got to I was on the call for that. The two of them, I believe, throughout the tournament. The one, unfortunately, they lost at the beginning of Texas, but then the one against Spring Hill. Man, that was an incredible performance, and just so honored to be a part of calling the action of that game, and seeing these guys. Some of them I watched a couple of years ago when they were in the Dixie Youth Minors, and now to see them up against the best competition in the Southeast, against these state championship teams. I mean, just truly remarkable. And it takes a good coach to put these players in the right mindset. And Alex, you have done one heck of a job with this team.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Second that. We'll let you get home and get some rest before the triple header tomorrow. But we appreciate you, man, and we're making you a regular character here on the Loco Lowdown.
You just let me know.
All right, man. Be good. We'll talk to you soon.
With the high school sports, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Wes won't see you tomorrow, but Justin, Max, I'll see y'all tomorrow, and appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man. Go Loco.
I'm glad we got you on the field to take some pictures today.
Yeah, I know, that was quite an ordeal.
Sorry, just had to mention that. All right, bye.
It was quite the ordeal.
It was.
I went out on the field. I got accosted by one umpire who was like, "Are you with the team?" And I was like, "No, I'm media." And he's like, "Are you with the tournament or the team?" And I was like, "I'm media.
I stood next to
Neither
them. I stood next
tournament.
to you.
I don't know." And
Yeah, I stood next
no,
to you.
there was one when I first went out there, and he approved me. I was like, "Alex, am I okay to be out here?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't care." And he's like, "Okay." But then there was another one who made sure that I went where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was doing. I
Hey,
know my
and I
way
will
around the
say,
baseball field.
and I'll say it was such a great time being a part of this tournament and just the hospitality that they showed for the volunteers,
Oh yeah,
and just the kindness that they showed, and the way they provided the amenities throughout, including some really nice dinner on Friday
yeah.
night and on Sunday. And
Yes.
we even showed it off on the broadcast.
I saw
yeah.
that.
Yes, from Bricks Bar and Grill
Yeah,
down on Boundary
bricks on
Street.
boundary. Bricks on boundary.
I'm not gonna do the read like I've been doing the entire tournament, or should I?
No,
Bricks
it
Boundary.
was
No, I'm kidding.
no,
It was
it looked good on the
some good food.
broadcast.
Oh, it was fantastic.
I enjoyed my Jimmy John's sub box tonight.
It was a
It
good
Oh, yeah.
sub
solid.
today. Yeah, we've
Great.
had some
yeah.
great food, especially from Locals as well. On Friday night, we had
Locals,
some of us
Sunny
had
Summers
some
Cafe.
beer battered shrimp, beer battered cod. Shout out to Locals. They're
Ooh.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I need to know more about that.
Definitely treated
But
thinking, but
the
before we move on, wanted to note one more thing. There were a bunch of highlights throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday, but man, we were hoping that somebody would go yard before the
Yeah.
weekend came to an end. And last game of the night on
EJ
Sunday,
Cox.
EJ Cox with the grand slam to the deepest
Hattiesburg
part of the ballpark over the
well,
center field fence.
he went deep on Saturday too.
He
in the
did.
first
He did.
game.
He's
He
had
did,
2 home
yeah.
runs in this
Yeah.
tournament. He's
But
been
you know
on a
what?
tear.
But you know what? Those kids from Texas pitched him really well tonight. He was
They
0 for
did.
3
They
with
did
2
a really good
strikeouts.
job with him today. They shut
Yeah,
him down.
books.
Yeah.
They got a book
But
on him now.
oh
Nobody's
my,
gonna let him beat him from here on
but
out.
my
Just can't.
God, it was a rocket out the straightaway
yeah.
center in that
Oh,
game,
he's
and we think he hit it a good 350 feet.
that dude looks like he should be playing defensive end for Mississippi State next year. He's only 13. It's unreal.
There are a couple kids on both those Hattiesburg teams that were like, man, there are some big boys.
Yeah. But hey, the MVP sponsors of LowcoSports starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry. She'd love to help you find your home in the Lowco or find a bigger, better place in the Lowco. If you're looking to get into the real estate market, you do it with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz when it comes to local home inspections. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection where they check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right with homegrown home inspections. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry is our official hospice provider, only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County, providing hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports, the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and the original sponsor of LowcoSports. Since 2017, we've been counting on Mickelson Law Firm, and we hope you'll call on them for all your legal needs. Those are our MVP sponsors. And now we welcome a national champion to the broadcast. Welcome her back to the broadcast. She's been on here before. Zao Estrada, what is going on, Zao? Long time no talk.
Yeah, it has been. How are you?
You've been on the grind,
Yeah.
So you've been traveling the world, training all the time, and getting yourself ready, for the world stage, quite frankly, and went and checked another box on the resume or off the to-do list by winning a national championship at Fargo. That is something that every kid who gets really serious about wrestling dreams about, getting a belt at Fargo. You got the job done. Just tell us about not only the experience of winning it, but just I guess just the feeling of payoff for all the hard work that you put in over the years.
Well, it was just really nice. It was like probably one of the best feelings ever. Like I've been trying to win Fargo for like 4 years now. And so just accomplishing that like just was really nice. And it just was like a goal that I accomplished and many people don't always get to accomplish all their goals. And so just accomplishing one was really nice and best feeling I felt in a while.
Well, Zao, first off, huge congratulations on becoming a national champion. I mean, that's something they cannot take away from you, and a huge honor. But tell me about your approach going into this particular event and what you want to do better and maybe differently as you got ready to compete for this title and eventually win it.
Well, usually every year whenever I'm going in, I'm like so scared and so nervous, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to win because I just felt like I didn't do enough. Like I didn't do enough getting ready for it. And like this time I was just really confident in myself, and I was like, I did everything I could. Like I trained my hardest. Like I worked hard. I did everything I could. So like I was just confident, and I was like, no one's stopping me this year. Like this is my year. I'm going to win. Like I'm going to do it no matter what. And I was just like 100% in my mind thinking I was going to win. So I was just confident.
We've definitely known you as a winner for as long as we've known you. Since you got here, you kind of first on the scene. You're kind of the first girl in the area who really already knew how to wrestle. Like it was this new thing, and you came in as like this fully formed female wrestler. Like this is what it looks like when you get to the finish line, and you just kind of blew people away because the area hadn't seen it yet.
I still wasn't at the finish line yet. I'm still not there yet. So
absolutely not. But like you were like this fully formed thing already. Like you'd been doing it for years, and there was nobody around here who looked like that. And so you gave girls something to look at and an example. You set an example, whether you wanted to be or not. You were kind of a role model. So how much did you embrace that, and how much do you take pride when you look around and you see how many girls are wrestling in the Lowcountry now?
Well, I love how much it's grown, and I love that there's like many more girls in wrestling and stuff. Like it's good for my younger sisters too that are starting to get into wrestling and stuff. Like it's nice knowing that they're going to have competition and they're going to have other girls to train with whenever I leave for college and stuff. Because like this past year I've just been focusing on like getting my little sister ready and like training her and trying to get her better. So like since I'm leaving, I'm glad to know there's more girls out there. And I do like being like someone that people look at. I don't always think that I am. Like I don't always think I'm someone people look up to, even though everyone tells me that. But I'm just like, no, like I look up to more people. So like, how can they look up to me? But I do like being that person. And it does make me feel good that people do look up to me and they wrestle because of me, because I love wrestling and it's a great sport to be in.
It's cool to be that leader and someone who sets the example. And really, you've done that for an entire community. Beaufort County, the entire Lowcountry has looked up to you, and they know what you have done, and they want to follow.
Making me nervous now. See, that's the only thing I don't like. It makes me nervous. I'm like, wait, everyone's watching. But thank you.
They're not watching critically, though. They're just watching. Yeah. They're observing. They're watching in wonder, in awe and amazement. Proud. Just to see how far you can go. Because they've seen you. You're the best wrestler they've ever seen, and they want to see how good you can be. But
maybe not the best, but thank you.
for most people, you are. I mean, for most little girls, at least, you're the best they've seen, at least around here. That's the reality. But Wes, did you have a question that you were getting to?
Yeah, I mean, just going off of that, you kind of talked about how cool it was that you have been that trendsetter, that leader, that example setter. What would you like to see in the Lowcountry in the future in terms of wrestling? Obviously, Revenant's Wrestling has been a great program. There's others around the Lowcountry, but how cool would it be to continue to see the Lowcountry grow, and what steps would you like to see taken for it to get to an even higher level and to have young boys and girls achieving what you have accomplished in the future?
Well, I think that like also at young ages, it's hard because I feel like a lot of like people just want their girls to wrestle girls, but I think wrestling boys is actually really good for girls at a young age. I think I actually like when girls and boys wrestle too. Like when a girl beats a boy, it's like, what? But like,
it's great. I love it.
There needs to be more girls to like kind of sanction that off a way that girls shouldn't wrestle boys. So I think that's a big part. And also freestyle and Greco, I think, are really big, like, especially for women's freestyle is like really big because that's like what we do in college and stuff. So I think that should be focused on a lot more. And I feel like there should be more freestyle and Greco tournaments than even folk style. I feel like those tournaments and national tournaments like Fargo and stuff, places that you get looked at by colleges and that can help you get to that level, should be focused on more than like state and stuff like that. Not that that's not important. I would have loved to be like four-timer and stuff like that. Like, that's still cool and stuff. If you can do that, definitely do that, but focus more on like summer wrestling and Fargo and all that.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the natural evolution, and I think it's happening. I think you got to walk before you run, kind of.
Yeah.
And like the state was just so far behind for so long that like we're just kind of getting to that point. And the influx of people from other places, such as yourselves coming from Colorado, and people who've come down from the Northeast, New Jersey. You know, Blake from Reverend's come down from New Jersey. You know, that influx of people from other places has helped it kind of start to scale and grow outside the traditional folk style. But I think you're right. Like, we're seeing that already at the state level, starting to pick up across the state. I think that's coming. And I think the rise of girls wrestling and the importance of freestyle to getting recruited is probably going to be a big factor.
Yeah, it's already like growing.
And precipitating it. Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of college news, you made your decision recently. You're going to William Penn University. So, you know, women's wrestling recruiting is definitely like a different animal than most sports. And like the schools that you're talking about are not necessarily the same schools that people are used to hearing about. So give us a little bit of insight into your recruitment process and how you arrived on your decision to go to William Penn.
Well, it was like kind of hard for me, I feel like, because I'm not like a person that like was like reaching out to schools and like talking to people. Like, I kind of was like just, which is probably like not good, but I was like, whoever comes to me. But like, so a lot of schools, like when I did talk to them, they already thought like I was committed from the beginning. Like, everyone thought I was committed and I just didn't post about it or something. And so like I didn't really talk to many schools, but the schools I did talk to, it was a hard decision. Like, I went on one visit to Delaware Valley in PA, and that was like really good, and that got me really excited. And then that's when I started talking to more schools. I did talk to Oklahoma at some point. Like, I talked to McKendree at some point too, but I just, from my coaches at William Penn and the Del Val coach, they were like the only two that I felt like they personally wanted me on their team. Like, you know, I just felt really like wanted from them. And so like just that feeling, I was like, okay, so that means I know that they're going to actually like take me seriously and try and help me and push me in the right ways, that for me, instead of just being like another person that's just there, you know, like I want to be a big part of the team and be someone who can push the team and like be a leader on the team and team captain even. So like I just felt like this was a good spot for me and I'd have good partners and it was a beautiful school and I loved the coaches. So it was a hard decision, but I ended up making it. Good thing.
That's tremendous. And, you know, it's a great time to be involved in wrestling. Both the men's and the women's sport, especially the women's, has been growing by leaps and bounds recently across the country. So, you know, how cool is it to be a part of this sport in this era where it's really starting to really be on the rise in your bracket? To just talk about how cool it is to see women's wrestling advance at the college level and to have all these, you know, options and, you know, to see what the future could hold for you as a college wrestler in a sport that is really growing at this time period.
I think it's really amazing and I love like how it's growing and I love being a part of it. And I wish that it could have grown even sooner than this. Like I could have been I'm hoping like they can bring girls Greco around too. Like I love Greco. So like I was hoping that maybe since they had it at Junior Duels, they would have it maybe this year at Fargo, but that didn't happen. So maybe in the next couple years that can grow too. And I would love that. But I'm just really glad that it's growing more and that I have better competition now. And like, I wish it would have happened sooner, but it's better late than never.
That's right.
Zao, obviously you mentioned you're going to William and Penn. I want to get your future wise, like what is like the biggest goal you have for the future of your career?
Well, my biggest goal is probably world team trials. I want to make a world team and maybe get a gold medal at worlds and stuff. So that's like one of my biggest goals. Fargo was my biggest goal for the past 4 years. I accomplished that. So I've been working for world team trials also at the same time I was working towards Fargo. So that's, I think, just my next step. And I also want to like win a national title at William Penn and hopefully for the team and stuff too. And then in 2028, I want to try make the Olympic team. So that's like all the 3 top goals I have so far.
Just those 3.
Just the Olympic trials.
They're great goals to shoot for.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I love it. You haven't fallen short of one yet, right? So you might as well keep shooting for the stars.
Yeah.
But no, it's awesome to see. Tell us a little bit more about, because you guys are now doing a homeschooling situation. You wrestled at Hilton Head High through your junior year, your senior year. You pivoted to a homeschooling situation and just training, on your own full time. So, but you've got a good number of kids, right? Some who have relocated from different parts of the country. So it's really becoming almost like an academy type situation. So give us a little bit more of a behind the scenes look at what's going on over there at the hangar.
Well, we used to have a school in Colorado too. My dad had his own. It was actually like an academy. And so like we had like 60, 80 kids in the school and not all of them wrestled, but here, it's way smaller, but it's just now starting this year. And so I did online like my whole life. So that was like not a big change going from like high school to online. Like that was normal for me, but I think it's really good because not like to talk bad or anything, but like the schools out here aren't like the best schools. So like I feel like just having all these kids in the room, like they're just getting more attention than usual, which is better for them. And I feel like they focus more. And I feel like wrestling is such a disciplined sport. It helps kids in any way. Like if they're having trouble with things, like wrestling just helps kids in a lot of good ways, like to get them out of any bad position that they're in their life. Like it's just a good disciplined sport. And so it's just wrestling and school being like combined in like to one is just really good for kids, I feel like. And all these kids are really nice kids and they're good and they're all doing Greco and hopefully we get more Fargo champs.
Heck yeah.
You are blazing the trail, but if you could give some pieces of advice or encouragement to these younger teenagers or underclass high school students, what does it take to become an elite wrestler and get to where you are now as you look back on the journey that you have gone on here in the Lowcountry these past few years?
I think what it's like to be good and stuff is to obviously I think you should always thank Jesus and God and give all your thanks to him because like just being thankful and it helps make you humble, which is a really big thing. I feel like someone who's like thinks they're better than everyone will always fall short at some point, even if they are like tough and stuff, they'll always fall short at some point. And it's the most important time they're going to fall short. And so I think just being thankful to God and stuff will help you be humble. And I think just focusing and staying on the right path and like not getting distracted is also very important because kids get distracted all the time. I'm getting distracted right now, like talking. I'm like, wait, what's that on our wall?
Tell me about it. ADHD over here.
You gotta be locked in when you're wrestling. It's you against somebody else, and
and it's a fair fight. They put you on the scales before to make sure, and it's a fair fight, and you're either going to win or you're going to lose at the end of the day.
And take your losses in a positive way, not a negative way, because everyone has them. No one's perfect, and no one can win everything.
Make them constructive and productive, right? learn something from them, get something out of them, and get better. But no, you've been awesome to watch throughout your career, and we're not done yet. You've still got much to do, and
Yep.
I fully expect in 4 years, while the Olympics are on again, we'll be talking about Zao Rose in LA.
Maybe I'll be back here too with my little sister. She'll be on here, and I'll be walking past.
Yeah.
And you
What's
gotta
the little sister's
sing something in the back.
Jersey? Is that the little sister? Jersey?
No, that's my oldest.
That's the
sister.
older sister.
Yeah, Nova is my little sister, and then
Nova,
we also
that's
have
right.
a younger one, Audio, the littlest. She's the
All
baby.
right.
So she's gonna be tough to get on here. She's spoiled.
Yeah, well, every family's got to have one of those.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one who holds everything together. But
yeah,
we appreciate you, Zao. We're proud of you. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all your incredible success up to this point. And we know you're not done yet. We look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
You too. Have a good night.
Zao Estrada, everybody, national champ and world-class human from all of my interactions with her. She's awesome. I really enjoy talking with her. And she may be a reluctant role model, but I guarantee you she's a role model to a lot of little girls who have seen her wrestle. She's awesome. She's a role model to me. I mean, since the first time I saw her beat a boy, I was like, that girl is amazing. I love that girl. I'm all for girls beating boys. I'm here for it. But anyway, the varsity sponsors of LowcoSports, DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board with us to help us continue to serve, to continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And that was a little mini Lowco Grind we just had with Zao Estrada, who I do expect to see in the Olympics in 2028. I will be surprised if she's not there in some aspects. Not because it should be surprising if she doesn't make it, but just because she's that kid. Like, she decided she wasn't going to go away empty-handed at Fargo, and she didn't. She did a really tough, we didn't get into it, but she did a really tough weight cut. She went to 115 and she won the dang thing because she was going to win it. Come hook or come crook, you know? So I expect she'll find a way to make her presence known and be on that Olympic team. But what else y'all want to talk about, boys? Not a whole lot going on. Sage Bradshaw gets it going at the Junior PGA tomorrow, so we'll keep tabs on that. What else we got?
Yeah, I mean, the countdown is on to. I mean, practices have started at the SCISA level for high school football. So I believe that WHHI is having their media day in the coming days. As we, from what I heard, as we get closer, to kickoff.
Whatever the first is, I believe.
August the 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. So mark your calendars. Thursday, WHHI Media Day. And then we plan to have Marcus Walsh on with this Friday to discuss how it went at Media Day, get his thoughts about the upcoming season, and as well as the tournament, because he and the Libs are working some games as well. I think we'll see them out there tomorrow as well. I got a little share and tell for you. It's pretty fun. I just came across this today, and it made my heart happy. So we'll share it. Remember our friend Ian Lawton from Hampton County?
Right.
Ian getting a shout out from the Hampton United Methodist Church. They said, "We're so grateful for this young man and his willingness to help others. He came out last Friday and helped with our 4th Friday free food distribution. This young man knows no limitations. May the Lord God continue to bless Ian and order his steps." And there's our boy Ian. Love that kid.
He's awesome. Man, he went viral.
Yeah, he did.
He had the basketball, and then again, I believe on the track. Was it track and field or?
I don't know if he went viral again.
But, there's something else that he went viral.
Oh yeah.
But I know
he hyped them all up. I don't think he went
Okay.
viral on it, but we definitely watched
Yeah.
video of him hyping everybody up at
Yep.
some kind of senior ceremony.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hampton County, I saw today was move-in day at Benedict College.
Nice.
Zamo Lofties, Xavier Garvin, and Trent Robinson all moving in up there. So
Fantastic.
I love this time of year. I love seeing
Yep.
move-in day photos. A lot of people are first-generation college students and their family, making that move in, or even second generation. It's
Yep.
a beautiful
Football
thing.
players, like they get there early, and a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
fall athletes, so like the women's soccer team and all these other athletes this is the time when they get the moving process started, and it's straight to work on the field or on the wherever they're doing. It's on the volleyball court. It's going to be that time. So it's bittersweet for sure, especially if you're a family member of one of those kids. But man, it is a very it's a time that will mean a lot with those family members for sure when it's all said and done. So definitely a bittersweet time for all involved, but then also a very exciting one, especially for these kids as they make the jump to the college level and they embrace the grind that is college sports. And so looking forward to seeing how they do this upcoming year. But when we look at other stuff going on across sports landscapes, obviously the Olympics in full swing and so much going on, so much to talk about. But story that really caught my eye, and I got to catch some of it today. How about the U.S. women's rugby team? They are into the semifinals
Oh, are
with
they?
a solid 17-7 victory today
Let's
over
go.
Great Britain. And Christy Kersey, Nia Tapper, Sammy Sullivan, all with the tries, as they call it. It's the
Yep.
touchdown of rugby
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
get across the goal line. Man, I was seeing some highlights of the competition earlier on, and man, these women are talented at this sport, and it's really fun to watch, to see everything that goes into it. And man, they got them stars. The biggest star, Alona Mayer. I don't know if you saw the highlight, but
Yes,
2
she's
stiff
amazing.
arms in a row to the proverbial end zone. I mean,
Yeah.
just highlight reel stuff.
She's
Bouncing
unreal.
off backwards.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolute
beast.
I will say this because not many people know it, but I will say it. Over the years, in terms of women's rugby, the United States has been one of the strongest teams, and it's not just at the rugby sevens level, but it's at the 11-man or 11 women rugby's level too, because they've been in contention for quite a couple World Cups over the years. Obviously with opponents such as New Zealand and other teams like South Africa and
Australia.
Japan as well.
Australia's tough too. I saw Australia put a whooping on Ireland earlier today.
Yeah, Australia is always going to have a strong team, and so will New Zealand. New Zealand and Australia are those two teams that you always have to keep an eye out on when it comes to women's rugby. And it doesn't matter which kind of women's rugby it is, whether it's sevens or 11-man. Those three teams of New Zealand, Australia, and the United States are all three of the top teams whenever it comes to that. So, the United States did really well. I did watch a bit of that game today as we were up in the press box, and I was really impressed with how they
Who do they play next? Who do they play in the semis?
That is a great question, which I have no idea. Let me.
Because I know Canada is through, Australia's through, and I assume New Zealand's
very
through.
slow right now, but yeah, I mean,
the Gremlins are getting less.
New Zealand, I believe.
Ooh.
Let's see who they play next. Yeah,
that should be a very good one.
It'll be a Donnybrook.
It'll be 9:30 tomorrow.
I think the games need to be longer for sevens. I think the 7-minute halves are a little too short for me. And 10-minute halves.
Yeah,
I agree.
It goes by quickly for sure, but there's still.
It's like the antithesis of a cricket match.
I will say this: that should be a really evenly matched game. I would, in terms of experience and just pure strength and power, I would give New Zealand a little bit of the edge in that aspect. But when it comes to speed and agility, I would give the United States. I would give that to the United States. So I do think it's a very evenly matched opponents here. So I'm excited to watch that game, and I'll be rooting for both teams, obviously, because I have a part in New Zealand as well as the United States. So I'll definitely be watching that, and I'm really proud of how the United States has played in the women's rugby sevens.
Yeah, so far so good. I enjoy the rugby sevens tremendously. I would watch more of
It's
that.
fun. It's so much
It's
fun.
really
Yeah.
fun. It's really fun.
I'm
That's
currently
something
watching. Yeah,
I would watch more of if I had the opportunity. Like if there was a rugby sevens league, national league or
Yeah,
something,
and
I
the
would
games are
watch
so
that.
fast paced. That's what makes it
Yeah,
exciting. Obviously, there's the normal 11-on-11 rugby version that you see, at other
yeah.
venues and other
I mean,
tournaments.
that's
But
cool too, but
yeah,
7-on-7's great.
I'm
There's a lot
currently
of space
watching
back there.
the men's gymnastics here
Yeah,
on
me too.
prime time for.
Which I'm sure already happened many years ago,
yeah,
right?
they're all tape delayed now. It's
Yeah.
what
It did
it's like
happen. It did happen earlier
3:30
today.
in
I didn't get to
Paris right
watch it.
now. Yeah, yeah.
I try to
Uh,
watch things live that I know they're not going to put on the prime time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they'll show the swimming, they'll show the
I watched some
gymnastics.
I watched some
Um,
judo and some fencing earlier.
I watched
Yeah,
some
which
handball today.
Oh, I
I
love
will
team
admit, I
handball.
watched some handball today, and I absolutely am falling in love with handball.
I'm all in on team handball.
I would wait until the tape delay, but it's so easy to be spoiled now with social media. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
100%.
they'll
100%.
they're gonna let you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
to the point where
Yeah.
it's like it's work to actually watch the Olympics live
Correct.
and not know what happened yet.
Yeah.
But I do have some other local sports news, some golf news. The Jimmy Self Invitational went off over the weekend at Palmetto Dunes, as we mentioned before. Dawson Sabo from Greer won the title. My man shot 9 under over 54 holes, won by 8. Whew. Lit it up, and he's only a 2027, dudes. What year does that make him? A sophomore? Yeah,
Yeah.
sophomore.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sophomore.
Kate Kriskunas and Tag Graziano, Hilton Head Prep duo, tied for second at 1 under. Hunter Hilton from Hilton Head, he's a 2028. He was 11th. Landry Williams from May River was 13th. So had some good showings from the local contingent, but Dawson Sabo was lights out. 68, 70, 69.
Wow.
It's nice. It's a
Tremendous.
nice weekend right there. Whew. And it wasn't set up easy. It was like only, 4 guys shot under par. But he just blew it away. So good stuff there. Anything else, gentlemen, or shall we start bringing
Yeah,
this
we
thing in for a
got
landing?
you have a parting thought, Max?
Well, first I got to do a Loco Booster Club. And then we'll do
let's go ahead.
Don't
Do
get
the-
too
do
far
sponsor.
out here, Wes. Come on. Reel it back in, buddy.
Ooh, somebody's mic just went weird.
Oh man.
Oh, we might be back now. The Loco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros, are Daniel and Debbie Court. They're Loco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island with Charter One Realty. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, including Lowco custom apparel at the Lowco swag shop. I don't have the energy to look up the link right now, but trust me, it's on almost all of our streams, so just go find it somewhere else. Eagle Creations, go over to Argent Boulevard and check them out, see what they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. If you're in downtown Ridgeland, go over to Jay's for the great conversation and come out looking stylish. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. Chris Odom and the team are the best in the biz. And Hudson Seafood Seafood House on the docks over on Hilton Head, North End, Squire Pope Road. Make a left on Squire Pope when you're going onto the island, or right if you're coming off, and go get you some seafood at Hudson's, the iconic seafood house on Hilton Head Island. And also Hearth Wood Fired Pizza, one of the great places down on Bay Street in Beaufort. They've helped us out in the past, so we'll give them a little Loco Booster Club shout out. Parting thoughts. Now is the time for it. Wes, you got a parting thought? You're muted.
Yeah, Max, go ahead and
There you
go first if you have one.
All right, go ahead, Max.
I've had so much fun these last 2 days. It has been what an incredible atmosphere, and shout out to all the volunteers and stuff who have put this together. To the people in the concession stand, the grounds crews, absolutely fantastic job making sure Burton Wells Park stays clean and safe and looking absolutely beautiful throughout the entire tournament. I just want to shout them out and say thank you guys for all that you have done so far in this tournament. I also want to thank everyone in the press box, including Marcus Walsh, Kevin Libby, Matt Golden, Chloe G, Wes Kerr as well, you Justin, Bracken Lambert, and everyone else who has been a part of it, Alex Hunt as well, I can't say enough about Tony Virga and the outstanding job that he has put together. This entire broadcasting press box, basically, with multiple channels on the YouTube channel, as well as at least one game broadcasting on the main Beaufort County channel. So it's been absolutely outstanding, and I can't thank everyone enough for making the experience, at least for me, absolutely amazing.
Mr. Tony's the man. He is
He is
absolutely the man.
Hey,
He has pulled it all together.
If you heard or if you're watching or listening to the broadcast, the last one we were doing last night between North Carolina and Hattiesburg, Mississippi, you got to hear Max sing a few bars last night, which was
oh yeah, I missed that. That was a softball practice.
I'm
What'd
sorry,
you sing
I'm
for
too
us?
tired to remember any of that.
Was it "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" or something else?
I can't remember what I was singing. What was I singing? Honestly,
it was a song that you mentioned today, Justin. Tennessee Whiskey. It was one of the Hattiesburg players' favorite songs.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was playing? I think of the song
that was the pitcher, Becky Johnson. That was his favorite
it was
song.
one of the kids' favorite song, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of one of my favorite songs too.
Tennessee Whiskey.
It is a great song.
I mean, Becca Johnson and me and Matt Golden are all best friends now, just based on his favorite things.
I will say this as another parting thought. I will say this: these kids have great taste in music. There's some really good songs that these kids chose as their favorite songs.
They all love steak.
Look through all the biographies and stuff like that.
There's some interesting ones.
Good choices.
They all like steak.
There's someone who liked
a lot of steak eaters.
There's someone who liked Ice Cube, and I was like, really? Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What was it? Today was a good day?
There was some like classic 80s songs. There were some newer ones. It was all over the place. So
I love it.
Some good taste. And also there are a lot of Atlanta Braves fans as
of course.
And there are a couple of throwback picks for their favorite player. There was a Mike Piazza pick. There were a few other ones. There's a Ken Griffey Jr. One of the players said he was his favorite. So yeah, there were some good picks there. And speaking of one of their picks, how about Paul Skeens making history again tonight? He's just the 6th Major League Baseball player of all time since 1893 to collect 100 strikeouts in 13 or fewer games. What a start to his Major League career for.
How deep did he go tonight?
Paul Skeens. Let me check and see. I'm just looking.
He's been going. I mean, he pitched into the 9th the other night. Yeah. He's incredibly efficient for as many guys as he strikes out. He's in the zone. Man, he's really, really good.
Yep.
Is he still pitching?
That's incredible though to reach 100 Ks in that few. Obviously, you have to go deep to have the ability to get those Ks. Obviously,
6.
It's and you have to have the talent. Right.
He started this season later than some of the other starting pitchers from around Major League Baseball. So for him to get to 100 strikeouts this quickly is unprecedented.
By the way, Karmajinsky took over in relief as the Pirates are trailing the Houston Astros 2-1, and Majinski
got
now
the first 2 guys
up against Jose Altuve.
Yep, got the first 2 guys. Oh no, he didn't. He gave up a hit.
Okay.
but he gave up a hit, but he got
Gave
thrown
a
out
hit, then
trying
he
to
was thrown
stretch
out.
it.
Yeah, tried to get to
Yeah,
second.
and then he got a ground out. So
Yep.
yeah, so he'll try to get a. Does he get a? You don't get a hold if you're behind, right? You don't get anything. Do you get a hold if you keep it?
Well, you
there?
can get a win if they come back. So.
Well, yeah. Holds your silly stat anyway, but maybe you got a fantasy league with holds and you're scouting Majinski for value, future
There you
value.
go.
I don't know, but all right. Any other parting thoughts? We good?
I can't think of any.
Oh yeah, I mean, just to reiterate what Max was saying, what a fun experience it was this past weekend. Probably one of the most fun times I've ever had broadcasting, and I've done a lot from being in college to, and I had some great moments, just interacting with people, but just to be a part of this and to see all these teams, and I think the cool thing is just seeing all these teams from different states in the country, all these other teams in the Southeast, and their jerseys were all fire. I mean, a lot of them reflected like the college teams. Like you had the Tennessee Orange, of course. You had the red and white, the
North
crimson,
Carolina.
Alabama. You had the Tar Heel blue.
Tar Heel.
And, yep. So, and then there were some other really creative ones. Florida's was like a nice shade of light blue when they played that Beaufort County team. So, yeah.
Hattiesburg has like the block M, but they got it in Golden Eagles colors, Southern Miss colors.
Yeah, kind of like it. I forgot. I forgot someone in terms of our press box crew. Javon Livingston was also there. Yeah, I'm sorry, Javon. I completely forgot. Yes,
Mr.
he was
behind
there
the scenes.
Yeah, he was there for a few games as well, along with Tristan Roberts with Beaufort Zone as well. He did a fantastic job in the couple games he did alongside Javon. So we did have the Beaufort Zone crew as well, alongside Beaufort Zone, LowcoSports, as well as WHHI, and it was absolutely
TV. Rising tides, baby. When we all team up, look what we can do together.
Yeah,
but,
that's great. It was an all-star cast of broadcasters and just volunteers in general, and it's just so much fun. Just so much fun.
We're not done yet.
We're not.
We still got another day to go. You're right. You're right. And maybe another day after that, we could go into Wednesday. But man, just being a part of this, doing the broadcasting, and hearing Marcus Walsh and Kevin Liddy make a pop culture reference or make me crack up at something.
Yeah, I heard a couple that made me crack up too. I can't even remember what they are now. Sometimes they come from so far out in left field that
my god,
throws me for a loop. The libs will come from way out.
And then Marcus will like out of nowhere, like if there's like a base hit or a run scores, he like shouts and the whole press box gets absolutely scared.
Yeah, he and Bracken both need to learn to modulate a a
Hey, I only save like a loud voice burst if something huge is happening.
All of a sudden, Marcus all of a sudden yelled out of nowhere. And me and Wes both got startled by it as we're trying to do a broadcast.
He's capable of jumping several octaves.
Hey, I only yell with my voice when something huge or something crazy happens, and the home run, the grand slam home run was certainly one of them. I got pretty loud.
That warrants it. Yeah, that warrants it.
Yeah, the other one was USCB walking off in the final home game of the season. That was also the loudest I've ever heard Wes Kerr scream.
Yeah, Wes definitely
during that game. Yeah, but I don't blame him because that was an exciting game. But that home run by EJ Cox yesterday, yeah, that was one to yell about because that was an absolute bomb straightaway center.
Well, hey, boys, let's call it a night. We'll be back out at the ballpark tomorrow. We'll be back on here. Wednesday night is the plan. We will have, barring some kind of weather disaster, have champions in the baseball tournaments by then. We'll be able to update you on the progress for Sage Bradshaw and see what else we can scare up happening around the Lowco, and maybe even get a guest in here to talk with us. So be sure to tune in Wednesday night, 9 p.m. for the LowcoSports Lowdown. Thanks so much to Alex Hunt for jumping on with us again, becoming a regular character. Love that dude. And thanks so much to Zao Estrada for making time for us. So proud of that kid and been very impressed to watch what she's done over a short time here in South Carolina. I can't wait to see what she does with William Penn, and we'll see her in LA in 2028. Thanks to everybody who sponsors us and to everybody who showed up to listen or watch. For Wes Kerr and Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.